My name is Michael Edgell. I'm a lieutenant with the Nevada Department of Public Safety. I'm the deputy chief of our training division. Welcome to the Department of Public Safety's Academy Class 91 graduation. I'd like to start off by saying thank you to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department for their use of their venue this morning. It was great. We really appreciate that. I also want to remind everybody that this is being live streamed on our YouTube channel, on the department's YouTube channel. So we'll be able to view it later on, and people will be viewing it live. Also, due to COVID protocols, we are practicing all of our COVID protocols. We are social distancing and washing down the mic every time we use it. Major Sleva, Acting Major Kevin Honey, the captains from both the divisions that are here, all of our sworn officers, invited guests, and family members. After the cadets march in, please remain standing for the posting of colors and the singing of the national anthem by Trooper Jessica Rail.
Left, left, face. Class, hand over heart, move!
All uniformed officers, hand over heart, move!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Class, order, arms.
All uniformed officers, order, up!
Thank you. At this time, we'd like to ask everybody to please remain standing for the invocation. I'd like to introduce the Training Division Southern Academy Commander, Sergeant Dominic Del Padre.
Class at ease.
Please prepare yourself in the manner to which you are accustomed. Our Father in heaven, we are thankful to be gathered here today as we celebrate the individuals at this Academy graduation. We are thankful for all those who helped guide, mentor, and instruct them, for all the hard work that has been put in by so many, for the opportunities these individuals will have to move on to the next chapter of their careers. We thank you for their families, loved ones, and friends who have supported them through this challenging process. Now, as each of them prepare to go to their divisions and protect the citizens of our great state, we ask that you watch over them, protect them, give them wisdom, courage, and peace as they faithfully go where others will not. Lord, we ask you to be with their families and loved ones as they take this journey. In your name we pray, amen. Please be seated.
Class, attention. Take seats.
I would like to take time to welcome family, friends, and distinguished guests to the graduation of Academy Class 91. To our new peace officers, congratulations. You have completed the transformation from citizen to law enforcement officer. It was rough starting out. This is the smallest academy I have ever started. With only 11 people and 4 of them quitting by the end of week 1, all of these could have got a lot of individual attention. Everyone has a plan of how they're going to be in the academy. Some have this notion they'll be able to keep their head down and slip under the radar. It was apparent within the first 30 minutes, and definitely during the first week, that plan wasn't going to work. The start of the academy starts off with a lot of intensity to get through it. It takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Lots of tears. But enough about me. It's supposed to be about the cadets. So, seriously, it takes a mountain of effort and drive to complete the academy, during which, due to the size, they got a lot of individual attention in their classes, their skills, their interactions with the corporals. Every academy I have run has been unique, and 91's smallest size makes that consistent. The smaller class size enabled more time on the range, honing skills, and on the evoc track, getting more time with the instructors. Beside the skilled portion, what we teach them is a wide variety of topics. We teach them what a law enforcement officer is all about: bad, the good, the long hours, physically challenging, terribly dangerous work conditions, emotionally and mentally draining. But it's also the best job in the world because it puts you right on the front line to help your fellow citizens. You get to keep people safe. You're the first responder. You might be in the position to save someone's life. When we see people running away from danger, we run towards it. We teach them the laws, how to read, understand, and enforce them. We teach them how to testify and write reports. We teach them to be involved in their community, how to administer aid to the victims of physical trauma. We teach them to protect those that cannot and sometimes will not protect themselves. We also teach them to put all this knowledge and responsibility into action. We do hours of reality-based training with scenarios, and they are evaluated to see if they are ready and worthy of the next step of this career. With all of this training, we used to do all this in 19 weeks. That's what 7 cadets left from the original 11 thought that they would be right before Christmas. They're going to go home. It was week 12 when I told them their academy had been extended to a total of 30 weeks and that they should cancel any plans they had for the holidays that they had been told they would have off. This is the first group to be trained to the same level down here. That is a lot more information and skills having to be learned and taught than ever before. Class 91 did very well in this adjustment. They even picked up 2 more cadets that had already had the basic training and needed to have the advanced portion. These 9 cadets gelled quicker than I expected, and the family of 7 grew to 9. And sticking with their uniqueness, this is the first Southern Academy class to not only be taught advanced curriculum, but also to share a building with another Academy class. On their week 27, they found themselves teaching the new Academy how to do things. We taught them to be leaders, and they are already placed in that role as cadet mentors, helping the next class adjust faster to Academy life. 2020 and 2021 has been tough, and if any of these cadets had changed their mind as to picking up the badge, I would have understood. The fact that these 9 have had the resolve and tenacity to carry on is a testament to their desire to protect and service. That is why we are here to celebrate. Our keynote speaker today is Nevada Department of Public Safety Highway Patrol Colonel Ann Carpenter. Colonel Carpenter joined the department in March of 1995 and brings a depth of knowledge and experience to the department, having served in multiple divisions and capacities throughout her career. Upon graduating the DPS Academy, she joined the Division of Parole and Probation as an officer. She was promoted to sergeant in 2001. In December of 2005, she promoted to lieutenant with the Nevada Highway Patrol Division, and in January 2012, she was promoted to the rank of captain. In March 2016, she was promoted to deputy chief with the Division of Parole and Probation, and on June 2019, she was appointed to the chief of the Division of Parole and Probation. In March 2020, she was appointed as a colonel of the Nevada Highway Patrol, making history as the first woman to hold the position for Nevada Department of Public Safety, Highway Patrol. Colonel Carpenter is responsible for 491 sworn officers and 96 non-sworn personnel. She is a graduate of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Department's Leadership Series and a graduate of the 244th class of the Northwestern School of Police Command and Staff. Colonel Carpenter is an alumni of both the University of Nevada, Reno and the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, graduating from UNR with a Bachelor's of Arts in Criminal Justice and receiving her master's degree in Public Administration from UNLV. She was also an adjunct professor for the College of Southern Nevada, instructing courses in political science. Colonel Carpenter has received multiple awards for her work and dedication to public safety. She received executive management certifications from the Nevada Police Officers Standards and Training Commission, which is the highest certification awarded to sworn personnel. In 2015, she received the NHTSA Public Service Award for her leadership in the development of a distracted driving program entitled It Can Wait for 28 Challenge. She was also recognized by the Office of Traffic Safety, receiving the Safety Communications Award. Colonel Carpenter is committed to public safety and service and is a member of the National Charity League, an organization where mothers and daughters serve communities together. Please join me in welcoming Nevada Highway Patrol's Chief Ann Carpenter.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Since Mother Nature had different plans for us today, I would like to thank the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department for graciously hosting our graduation ceremony. Their ability to make this happen on such short notice is nothing but a miracle. And on behalf of the men and women of the Department of Public Safety, we thank you. So as Sergeant Del Padre said, my name is Ann Carpenter, and I am the Colonel of the Nevada Highway Patrol with the Department of Public Safety. And I would like to welcome every one of you and to thank you for supporting our newest members of our family. Just last week, I celebrated my 26th year with this department, and as I reflected on my own academy graduation, I could remember the feeling of accomplishment, excitement, and eagerness to start my new chapter with the Division of Parole and Probation, and the pure joy that the academy was over. No more guest speakers, no more lectures, no more academy life. However, what I also realized in my reflection is that I did not remember who spoke or what they said. So today I thought I'd take a different approach by discussing a few important F words. What? F words, you say? Oh, yeah. For instance, today is an important day, which happens to be Friday. And we are here to celebrate you, your accomplishments, and to have some fun. Because after this ceremony, you are officially finished with the Academy. So let's talk about the first F word, fear. Let's face it, starting a new career in law enforcement is stressful, and it's easy to be fearful. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure. What about fear of speaking in front of all of you? Being judged, being vulnerable. But it's time to embrace fear. Have fear sit next to you. Have fear along for the ride. I even put Fear's seatbelt on just to keep her safe, because I live life fearlessly. And what about field training? All of you will endure more weeks of training with one or more field training officers learning the nuances of the job, finding and using specific tools from each officer's toolbox in order to become more familiar with the day-to-day operations. And that's where the idea of failure may creep in. How many of you experience failure? I know I have. But what is failure really? Failure is nothing more than success and progress, a lesson. Failure is always new information, and those who are willing to suffer it repeatedly make it a stepping stone to success. Failure does not occur until you quit trying, so don't ever quit. Which may or may not lead to frustration, but have some faith in the process. Life isn't fair. Life throws us curveballs every chance it gets, but it is how we handle our stress that helps us through and makes us grow. And fresh perspectives allow us not to go back to what is familiar, but to view situations from a different lens. Many times you will encounter people at their worst when they need you to help them, to listen to them, to take a chance on them. So I say, look forward, pay it forward. Do not fixate on the past, just move forward. Focus on the positive and what you can control. Focus on being kind. There is no reason why we cannot be both kind and self-respecting. Fatalities, a reality for those who have chosen a career in law enforcement. Though we took the oath to serve and protect, to prevent the loss of life and keep our communities safe, loss of life does occur, and dealing with it can be difficult and challenging. This is why you will need to remember to reach out for support and rely on the next two words, F words, friendships and family. Friendships, relationships, mentorships. I cannot stress the importance of having positive and healthy relationships in your life. Any person who is not supportive of your positive life choices and does not build you up is toxic. Remember this, choose your friends wisely. It makes a difference. Family is a priority. I know mine is. I have a husband and a daughter, and I am lucky. They are my support system. Ensure that you find a balance between your new career and your family. But from today forward, remember that you are now part of this law enforcement family, the Department of Public Safety family, and we will be here to share many moments in your life, from the most beautiful to the most tragic. Family first. Your future can be anything. They say if you can see it, you can be it. Like wind or water over stone, your new career will reshape your lives. The skills that you have learned in the past few months are invaluable. Use them. So graduates, below your chair, there's a round disc, a wooden disc. Will you mind grabbing that? This is just a little something that I wanted to share with you that you can keep and remind you of this day. So in closing, I thought it would be appropriate to circle back to the beginning. The philosophical concept of the circle of life means that we start at the end and end in the beginning, just like this disc. Basically, our lives from beginning to end resemble a complete full circle. Today is the beginning of your chapter as I am nearing my end. And let me read a quote to you that had a profound impact on me. When she transformed into a butterfly, the caterpillars spoke not of her beauty, but of her weirdness. They wanted her to change back into what she had always been. But she couldn't. She had wings. You too have transformed. From today forward, you will never be the same. So embrace it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Carpenter. It is customary for each graduating class to select a classmate to speak on their behalf. At this time, I would like to introduce Cadet Gregory Giannakostas, who was selected by his classmates to speak before you today.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. On August 18th, 2020, 11 individuals showed up at 0600. It was dark out, and everyone was ready to begin their training for the police academy. Everyone lined up waiting for further instruction. It was dead silent for about 10 minutes. The first sound was someone yelling commands, followed by other commands from other voices. What ensued for the next 2 weeks was utter madness. Within those 2 weeks, the 11 that started was down to 7. All of the stress and corrective actions put us into a fog. As each day passed, the fog began to lessen. The yelling was transitioning from madness to clear, concise instruction. The 7 individuals left began helping each other as a team to maintain, focus, endure, and succeed. The stress became strength. We realized that we are stronger than we think we are and can get through anything mentally or physically. Our first challenge at the end of week 1 was maintaining focus through all the smoke sessions that clouded our minds. We started learning to operate in the chaos. The next challenge was a few weeks later. We got to run the strip, which was 5 miles. This run taught us we don't stop when we're tired, we stop when we're done. Then defensive tactics, taser, and OC. With all of the valuable training from Corporal Hageman, we learned how to take a punch and dish one out while being pepper sprayed. Taser, taser, taser. Everyone that has heard this understands what I mean. We learned how to use all of our tools effectively. Then there was range. With excellent training from Trooper Moses and the rest of the range masters, we honed our shooting skills. EVOC challenged our driving ability and taught us how to operate a vehicle at a high rate of speed while multitasking. The 7 eventually became 9 with 2 additions that came in and immediately got with our program. It grew our family as we headed into the second half of our academy. Our last challenge was crash investigations. 3 weeks later, we could look at a skid mark and tell you how fast a vehicle was going, along with diagramming a crash scene. In between all of this was a lot of classroom with excellent instructors. All of the training we received fully prepared us to take the next steps in our careers. We have solidified bonds that can never be broken and have found a forever family that will always have our backs. With the guidance of our corporals, sergeant, and captain, we have acquired the skill set, physical and mental fortitude to become the people we were meant to be. Corporal Coleman, Corporal Hageman, Corporal Hickson, Corporal Walker, and Sergeant Del Padre. Class 91 is forever grateful for you pouring your hearts and souls into training us. You all wanted the best for each of us, and it was clearly evident. You taught us that when we are in a hopeless situation, we do not have permission to die. Once again, we do not have permission to die. This phrase alone builds strength in our resolve. Before I finish, I would like to extend a thank you on the behalf of the rest of the cadets. Thank you to our families and friends who have sacrificed as well. Long weeks when we didn't want to talk when we got home, weekends filled with hours of studying and not leaving the house, and the constant understanding and support. As we move on to our separate divisions, we will remember what has been taught and instilled in us the last 30 weeks. We will remember who we are and what we represent. We will honor and cherish the traditions put in front of us and always do our best to serve and protect. Once again, Class 91 would like to thank you for being here today and showing your unwavering support in this special moment in our lives.
Everybody's gaping because we're like, flip the page. You flip the page. All right. One of our training philosophies here at the Academy is the class moves in the same direction with a common purpose. We also realize that a little bit of individual competition is healthy. It's natural and motivates the team. The Academy Corporals would like to present individual achievement awards to the cadets that stood out amongst their peers. To present the Skills Award, I would like to introduce Corporal Alex Walker.
Good morning, everyone. Before I present the High Skills Award, I want to share with you a little bit about the journey these cadets undertook over the past 30 weeks, leading them to being here today. These cadets endured 96 grueling training days, and today's graduation is the culmination of their hard work. I am quite sure the cadets of Class 91 are glad this day has finally arrived. Day one of the Academy started with 11 cadets standing around with fearful looks on their faces. This was the first time they were introduced to their corporals. After the sergeant put them in formation and gave them his introduction speech, organized chaos ensued. Cadets were running around and sounding off. For some of them, this is the first time they had ever been under this kind of stress, and they began to ask themselves, what have I gotten myself into? The looks on their faces was one of confusion, apprehension, seeming as if they were walking around in a fog. You just heard that. But they soon realized that everything that we do at the Academy has a training purpose to it. Now, the Academy is broken into phases. I want to describe what the first two phases of training consisted of. The first is Red Phase. Red Phase is the first 6 weeks of training where the cadets are indoctrinated into Academy life. They have very few privileges, learn a daily routine, and they must have their patrol partner alongside with them at all times. During Red Phase, they are expected to develop the concept of teamwork, create unit cohesion, and build trust within one another. The training schedule is very demanding. The day usually starts with physical training at 6 a.m., followed by many hours of classroom instruction, practical application, scenario-based training, team building events, and the occasional smoke sessions when corrective action was necessary. The cadets are also taught close order drill and how to ceremonially raise, lower, and fold the national and state flags, which they perform daily. Red Phase is the most critical phase of training, as it is designed to build a solid foundation for the rest of the Academy. The highlight event of Red Phase is the infamous strip run, as you all just heard about. A 5-mile run where we traverse the most famous boulevard in the world at 5 o'clock in the morning, running in class formation from the Stratosphere to the Welcome to Las Vegas sign. Along the way, the class stopped at the Mandalay Bay Hotel, the location where the Route 91 incident occurred, and took a moment to reflect what happened that tragic night and to honor the 60 innocent people that lost their lives that fateful day. Class 91's Red Phase culminated with taser training and exposure, where each cadet was tased for 5 seconds. It was fun for us. This is something that all DPS officers experience in the Academy, so you can say it's somewhat of an initiation. After being tased, the cadets were phased up, signifying their transition to the next phase of training, Black Phase. In Black Phase, the cadets are granted a few more privileges and are given increased levels of responsibility. This phase, the cadets are expected to begin to look, act, and perform as professional police officers. The cadets begin to learn the critical skills of being a police officer in this phase and to start to qualify and add the various tools to their duty belts. Like in Red Phase, the training schedule remained demanding. The highlight and culminating event for Black Phase for Class 91 is their training and exposure to OC. We've heard about that. Better known as pepper spray. After receiving 8 hours of training on this non-lethal weapon, the cadets were pepper sprayed and were required to complete a tactical course consisting of fighting off 2 subjects, placing handcuffs on another, and completing necessary radio traffic, all while feeling the effects of the pepper spray. I can assure you that being pepper sprayed will be an experience that none of them will ever forget. Isn't that right, Cadet Kano? Yes, sir. When it came to the high skills portion of training, the cadets of Class 91 received over 120 hours of training in each of the following skills: defensive tactics, arrest and control procedures, firearms training, taser, OC, emergency vehicle operations, and standardized field sobriety tests. The cadets must pass each skill with a minimum score of 80%. While Class 91 all performed superbly, one cadet is being recognized today for their performance. I'm pleased to announce the recipient of the High Skills Award for Class 91 is awarded to Cadet Serena Medina. To present the Physical Fitness Award, I would like to introduce Corporal Robert Coleman.
The start of Academy 91 could be best described as a rude awakening for most of the class. The realities of the serious nature of our career were quickly brought to light to include the need for physical fitness. The realization that force might be necessary to protect the public and to save lives set in, and with it, the need to be physically fit. Without physical fitness, the other qualities required of our jobs suffer. It is imperative that this is ingrained into our lives and to the everyday life of a police officer so that we can go home to our loved ones every single day. These points were driven home early on, and Class 91 took them to heart. Many of them at the start were displaying physical fitness capabilities that did not meet the standards of the department. They quickly found out that this was unacceptable. These cadets that you see here today realized where they were at the start of the academy and continuously improved their performance through sheer discipline, willpower, dedication, and passion. By the end of the academy, the corporals could see that their physical skills had not only improved dramatically, but that their sense of pride and morale had elevated as well. They did this through both personal determination as well as lifting each other up through continuous team support. This was especially important during our team building exercises, where we would present the cadets with multiple physically taxing challenges requiring that they work smart, communicate, and take on leadership roles to succeed as a unit. I had the pleasure of being present for each and every one of these, where I personally witnessed their physical levels increase in conjunction with their levels of professionalism. As Academy 91 entered Blue Phase, they had established a routine of health and wellness through physical training, as well as increased cognitive function through their classwork. In early November, the cadets spent a week on DUI detection and standardized field sobriety tests. They were challenged to test their skills on volunteers who graciously donated time and parts of their livers by consuming alcohol so that they may provide a real example of what indicators an impaired person might display. The following week introduced the cadets to a topic of a controversial nature: crisis intervention in mental health. It was here that they learned that we as police officers must be able to be flexible in our ability to do our job. It was another tool for the belt, or another skill to master. As a hammer could drive a screw into a board, a screwdriver would be a better tool. The cadets learned more about identifying characteristics of a person undergoing crisis or having conflict with mental health and how to best handle those situations. Switching gears in the subsequent week, the game changed as they trained in MACTAC and active assailant. It was here where they learned the tactics to properly clear rooms and how to handle a terroristic threat in order to save lives. On Tuesday, December 1st, Academy 91 spent roughly an hour and a half going through Painstorm, a collection of exercises put together to stress the muscles and cardiovascular systems in a functional fitness format. The completion of this intense PT session signified their transition from blue phase to silver phase. They had earned more privileges within the academy, and their curriculum now focused on real-life application as well as reality-based scenario training. The dynamic nature of scenarios quickly made them realize the importance of disciplining one's mind and body in order to make split-second decisions. As law enforcement officers know, sometimes all we have is a split second to choose, decide, and act. This can result in something minor or dramatically major. At the end of this phase of training, and before continuing with more advanced training, we took a moment to refocus. Close towards the end of the month, Academy 91 met with their corporals and Sergeant Del Padre in the dark, cold, and windy early hours at the bottom of Lone Mountain. Everyone would then hike up, and as the sun crested over the horizon, everyone made it to the top. The beautiful view of Las Vegas set the perfect backdrop for an inspirational speech to the class, in which they soon realized that in short time, this city and the great state of Nevada are yours to protect. This realization they took to heart. So how effective was the combination of all of this training? From August 17th to March 1st, Academy 91 collectively lost a total of 19 pounds of fat, gained 13 pounds of muscle, and shed 8.5 inches off of their waist size. The Physical Fitness Award is given to the cadet who not only had the highest physical training scores, but that also set the fitness standard for their classmates to adhere to. It is with great pleasure to announce the PT Award goes to Cadet Gianni Riga. To present the academic award, I would like to introduce Corporal Loy Hickson.
Different view from up here, Valia. What was once days to graduation was now the next part of their academy training. On that bright and early cold, very cold Wednesday morning in late December, after climbing Lone Mountain, it was time to relax and enjoy the holidays. I say relax and enjoy because the academy training wasn't going to get any easier. This portion of Academy 91's training is the advanced phase. In this phase, known as the silver phase, the cadets learn to become responsible for their own actions. They still function as a team, yet they realize that each have their own specific role in making that team work. The cadets were exposed to and learned what officers experience daily in their specific duties. They learned about parole and probation caseloads, case management, and violation reports and sanctions, as well as drug-impaired driving enforcement, and went on ride-alongs with officers from their respective agencies. They got even a refresher in emergency vehicle operations. As the reality of working out in the field was getting closer, understanding the importance of safely operating a patrol vehicle is vital. In this refresher course, the cadets did not have the added stressor of orange traffic cones throughout the track, which was okay, as the Cone Crusher Award had already been awarded. And of course, in the essence of privacy, Cadet Giannacostas asked that I not mention he was a recipient. With all of this, it was a first. Class 91 had the glorious honor of being the first DPS Southern Academy to have combined their basic post academy with the advanced academies, plural as in both of them.
something that added 11 more weeks to their already intense and integral training. The Academy teaches officers so many skills: how to protect themselves and the public, how to properly operate a vehicle, and how to stay in top physical conditioning. In our current era of law enforcement, officers are expected to not only be physically skilled, but also intelligent and knowledgeable. Public service law enforcement is consistently changing, and the public demands the best. That best is someone who has the balance of bronze, but can also use their brains in the event in the most stressful situations. Throughout the academy training, cadets are exposed to so much information, courses that range from very basic and foundational to complex. With all this, the cadets are expected to retain the knowledge as they were tested regularly. This came by tests, quizzes, exams, and even scenarios. Scenario testing allows the cadets to put their book knowledge into practical use. Practical use by being exposed to situations that are most likely to encounter while on job. It is always interesting and sometimes comical how creative cadets can get when faced with a situation that is stressful and educational. Fortunately, I can say that no corporals were harmed in the making of these new police officers. As the cadets were continually pushed to their limits, being placed under a lot of pressure and stress to prepare them for their new careers, they continue to show their resilience and rise to the occasion. However, one cadet set themselves apart from their peers by achieving the highest GPA. This is a result of accuracy from over 1,300 questions. But this race was so close, it was like a photo finish. Between first and second place, the difference was only .04. The award for the most academically inclined cadet and distinguished honor graduate for Academy Class 91 is Cadet Serena Medina. To present the Corporal's Award for Excellence, I would like to introduce Corporal Zeke Hagman.
Thank you, Corporal Hickson. Morning, everybody. We have said that Academy Class 91 was unique, but as the senior corporal, I have seen some consistencies. These 7 cadets started off timid, unsure of themselves, just like all of the academies that we have had. And like all of our successful cadets, as time went, they grew stronger and more confident. They sit before you now, ready to start their journey as sworn peace officers. As last corporal we will talk about the end of their journey. The Advanced Academy builds upon the foundation that was taught in the Basic Academy. It takes the skills learned in the first 19 weeks and refines things to better tailor the cadets to their respective divisions. After having their fun at EVOC, cadets also received an extra week of range to refine their skills with their department-issued firearms, followed by 2 days to learn the ins and outs of handling their issued patrol rifles. But the Advanced Academy was not all running and gunning. The cadets also had to pass an arduous 3-week crash investigation course taught by the knowledgeable MERT team of the Nevada Highway Patrol. The cadet learns how to properly map an accident, as well as to use mathematics that had probably been forgotten since high school. At this time, the cadets have also had classroom training tailored to their respective divisions. They learned the ins and outs of Brazos and Otis, the in-depth history of the Highway Patrol, as well as how to do forensics on confiscated cell phones. To ensure they are ready for their next stage of their careers, they had to do a final week of scenarios. Every day they had to perform as P&P officers would or as an NHP trooper would in the field, in a variety of stress-inducing situations. These cadets finished up ready to take the challenges of their careers that lay before them. Their confidence and their knowledge base grew, as did the unity of this small group. Whereas at the beginning the Academy had some cadets show the ability to lead, I can confidently say that every single cadet sitting before you has the ability to do it now. This group is small, but they are strong. That being said, it is a tradition among the cadre to find a cadet truly embodies the essence of this career field. Someone who has not only shown the ability to endure the arduous physical, mental, and emotional strain at the academy, but who puts in work to help his brothers and sisters prevail. Someone who leads from the front and ensures his team is there standing tall with him at the end of the day. The cadet I am speaking of embodies these traits. Through the academy, they have consistently shown a sense of compassion and leadership. This cadet not only dealt with immense demand set forth by us, but also had a tremendous amount of personal challenges to face. In this time, they never showed signs of stopping. Through sweat, blood, and tears, this cadet continues to endure and was shown to be an inspiration to his classmates. It is with my great pleasure to present the Corporals Award to Cadet Lawrence Cano.
Now the moment the cadets have been waiting for. At this time, I would like to invite Captain Bledsoe to administer the oath of office to Class 91.
Class, attention!
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I
Lawrence Cano.
Mercury Lemos.
Gianni Riga.
Juan Lawrence. Bert Wambacher.
Gregory Ginacostas.
Tiffany Smith. Serena Medina.
Stephen Laycock.
do solemnly swear that I will support,
Do solemnly swear that I will support,
protect, and defend
protect, and defend
the Constitution and government of the United States
the Constitution and government of the United States
and the state of Nevada
and the state of Nevada
against all enemies, whether domestic or foreign,
against all enemies, whether domestic or foreign,
and that I will bear true faith,
and that I will bear true faith,
allegiance, and loyalty to the same,
allegiance, and loyalty to the same,
and I will uphold and enforce
and I will uphold and enforce
any ordinance, resolution, or law
any ordinance, resolution, or law
of any state notwithstanding,
of any state notwithstanding,
and I will
and I will
well and faithfully perform
well and faithfully perform
all the duties of a peace officer
all the duties of a peace officer
for the state of Nevada,
for the state of Nevada,
serving in the Department of Public Safety,
serving in the Department of Public Safety,
of which I'm about to enter.
of which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Class, order, arms. Take seats.
Agency representatives, if you would please come forward and present our newest police officers with their badge. Family members who will be pinning on your officers, please take your positions. We have now come to what is possibly the most memorable part of a new officer's career, the pinning of the badge. Badge pinning ceremony is a long-standing tradition among law enforcement agencies across the country. Although this simple ceremony may appear different depending upon the department you visit, the underlying premise is the same: public trust. Trust that you will hold yourself to a higher standard. The trust that you will run towards danger and be the first to respond. The trust you will protect our communities and willingly place yourselves between our loved ones and evil. And trust that you will enforce laws justly, fairly, and ethically.
Before we begin, I'd like to remind the family graduates that both agencies shall be do the pinning where we have our national and state flag. Trooper Lawrence Cano. Trooper Cano came to this academy stoic and ready to learn. He is not big on emotion and showed determination throughout. He volunteered his own time to work several recruiting applicant screening events helping staff administer the PPFT to applicants during his academy who want to become DPS officers. Trooper Connell has a kind of positive attitude that exemplifies what it is to be a Nevada State Trooper. Officer Stephen Laycock. Officer Laycock showed that with perseverance and hard work that one can overcome many challenges in the academy life. His medical training showed up and came to fruition during scenario-based training. He also showed that a big guy can actually do sit-ups. Trooper Mercury Lemoose. Trooper Lemoose showed up at the academy having a timid demeanor. However, she showed her true self and dauntless dedication, which brought out a line of a human being. With her hard work, she trains hard, even on her off time, and found her way. Trooper Lemoose matured throughout the academy, and it wasn't until seeing that left hook that we realized that she used to be a semi-pro boxer. Officer Serena Medina. Throughout the academy, Officer Medina showed that she's a natural leader right from the beginning. Being so, that she was actually nominated the class leader on day one. Officer Medina has shown great leadership capabilities, and her best leadership quality is that she sets a self-example for others to emulate. Trooper Gianni Riga. Trooper Riga's enthusiasm and desire to increase his knowledge never faltered. He had led Class 91 in many physically challenging events and showed that professionalism and serious mentality is keen in this line of work. Trooper Riga actually became known as Cadet Jeopardy, as he was always ending or responding with a question. Officer Tiffany Smith. Officer Smith had her struggles early on, yet she did not let that stop her. She continued to push herself, made huge strides, and brought the wisdom that only life experience could do. Officer Smith has showed her level-headedness, and during performance scenarios, she had the command voice and demeanor as someone in her background would have. Trooper Juan Juarez. Trooper Juarez liked to keep his head down and slip on the radar. When he joined Class 91, he found that that was not an option. He did well being in more than limelight than he had ever been used to, and he's shown that when he gets knocked down, he was able to get back up and finish the job. Trooper Juarez definitely has a brighter future ahead for him. Officer Gregory Giannacostas. Officer Giannacostas entered the academy at a little more senior than most of his peers. While this fact may be considered a hindrance, his continued level of physical prowess showed, and nothing would slow him down. Officer Giannacostas brought a cool, calm demeanor and level-headedness where it seemed no amount of pressure could ever make him crack. We're hurrying back there. Trooper Kurt Wambacher. Trooper Wambacher was the last addition to this class. He brought a level of experience and poise that helped elevate the rest of Class 91. Coming to a tight-knit group and trying to fit in is never easy. However, he did well. And his time here, Trooper Wambacher's training and previous experience is an asset that he brings to the department and will definitely be of benefit for him in his new career within the Highway Patrol.
I'd like to thank the division chiefs and the rest of the command staff for that. Please take your seats. Turns out those hat badges are a lot harder than one would think. You just put the badge on, it's nice and easy. It sticks in the, never mind. All right.
Class, attention. About face.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Nevada's newest law enforcement officers.
Class, take seats.
Just a few thank yous prior to issuing the final order. I would like to thank Major Sleva and Acting Major Honey for your continued support of the Southern Academy. Without your subject matter experts to come teach the cadets, we would not have gotten the quality education they did. Thank you to family and friends of these new officers and troopers. They would not be here today without your support, so thank you. Thank you to all the guest instructors and subject matter experts that shaped our new officers. Your efforts were absolutely essential. I would also like to offer a special thank you to Major Simpson. Corporal Hickson was promoted to sergeant on February 10th, and normally Hickson would have started then. With 2 academies running at the same time, if he had assumed his duties immediately, we would not have been as successful as we were. Thank you to all our corporals past and present. As we stated earlier, this academy had additional challenges never overcome before. These 4 individuals stepped up and did everything I asked of them with accuracy and poise. They were with the cadets through every step of this journey. Again, Sergeant. And not to be unnoticed, we have a new corporal, Corporal Kevin Neiswanger, has just joined our team last week. And a final thank you to our retiring chief, Captain Ruby Bledsoe. Not done. Chief Bledsoe came to the training division from Parole and Probation right as Class Academy 80s started. She will be retiring in a few weeks after this Class 91's graduation. She has a positive influence of over 199 cadets that have come through the training division and successfully walked across the stage. She has pushed not only this division forward, but she has pushed DPS as a whole forward. Through her effort, grit, and heart, she's leaving the department better than when she first swore in. Please join me in a well-deserved round of applause for Chief Bledsoe.
Class, attention. Class, at ease.
I will now give the benediction. Heavenly Father, each time I walk Each time I walk this long walk, I pray that I might be prepared to meet any confrontation I may encounter, that I may never be the undue aggressor, never lose my tongue in anger, and always put forth the best efforts for each task. And if I am ever called on to face the ultimate trial of life and death, that I may be victorious in the name of all for which I stand. If not, that I leave this world, I may drive the soul of my aggressor before me. Amen. Amen. Class 91, it is with great privilege and honor that I will give you your final order as Academy Commander.
Class 91, attention, report, endure, succeed, dismissed.
Thanks.